Hi there, I'm Andy Robertson, and this is Family Gamer TV. Welcome to another episode of Family Gamer TV. I'm here with Eric Hirshberg to talk about the newly announced Skylanders Giants.
Yes.
What stands out? What's different about Skylanders Giants compared to the game we already know?
Well, I think with any existing franchise, which I guess Skylanders now is, because we're in our second chapter, the balancing act is figuring out meaningful ways to innovate and to bring new news and new novelty to the franchise, while also staying true to what made it great in the first place. So the idea of toys coming to life is the idea that comes with us. The world of Skylands and the Skylanders mission carries forward, but the Giants are what's new.
So right now, Stealth is kind of being surrounded by some guys. She's like a really fast ninja character. She can, use her speed and agility to do this, or sometimes you just want to be real powerful and really strong. So this is a great opportunity to bring in our Giant. This is Tree Rex. He's our life giant. And you see, even when he comes into the world, he slams into the world with power. We really want everything that you do as a giant just to feel super powerful and strong, to really kind of play up that fantasy of being a giant. And that's what Skylanders is all about. It's about allowing kids to kind of take on the fantasy, whatever their favorite types of characters are.
We're introducing 8 new characters that are about 2.5 times the size of an average Skylander, and they have the powers and the capabilities and the strength, both in the game and in the physical world, to match. So they can lift things that the regular Skylanders can't lift. They can run through walls that the regular Skylanders can't get through. They have the ability to defeat more powerful adversaries than the regular Skylanders. But one of the things that was important is that they are not just invincible versions of the Skylanders. The regular Skylanders also can do things that they can't do. They're faster. They're craftier. They can fit through holes and under obstacles that the Giants can't. So it really adds a new layer of strategy to the game itself in terms of which character you put on the portal to accomplish a specific goal.
You'll even notice like this castle up here. These guys are coming out of the castle. You could be a normal Skylander as a giant, just kind of fight the waves of enemies. Or if you're smart, you could use your giant to pick up these boulders and blow up the castle to keep the guys from coming out. And that just adds a ton of replay value, so you can re-experience the game in new ways, find new collectibles, new things to discover, new strategies. And again, that just kind of adds just a lot of variety, which is kind of what we want, because the game is really a social game where you want to be able to play with other players, and this gives new opportunity to talk about the secrets you found and new strategies that you have. Even though the Giants are big, the portal itself will still house. You can fit 2 Giants on at the same time, which allows for that drop-in, drop-out co-op play. Which for any combination, a Giant and a new Skylander, or one of your other Skylanders, or 2 Skylanders together. And those are just really fun, because it's a great way for kids to be able to kind of show off what their collections are. You'll even notice like the light on Tree Rex's arm is sort of like he's got this laser beam attack. We really wanted to highlight kind of the cool features of each of the characters within the light features of the toys. And here's another opportunity where you see kind of a different way, new secret areas that you can find. A normal Skylander is going to go up to this castle and enter the interior where you're going to continue on through the level, but a Giant might find a shortcut. You see down below there's some cracked earth, and a Giant can actually use his weight and smash through there where he discovers a secret cave that's full of loot and a bunch of treasure. Fortunately, he's trapped in here. The cave door is sealed shut, but that's not a problem for Tree Rex. He can smash right through that. Dust himself off.
And then with Skylanders, because obviously a big novelty is you have these figures that unlock content in the game.
Yes.
How does Actvision, or how do you sort of think that's going to develop going forward?
Well, I think there are a couple of very important distinctions in what you're bringing up. And the first one is that with just the starter pack, which comes with the game and the portal and 3 characters, you are able to complete the entire game.
Yeah, and
you're
that's
able
important.
to. But along the way, there are these elemental gates. There are these gates that open up, different parts of the world that kids can explore. And if you don't have, say, a character from the fire element, you need one in order to unlock this gate, or a character from the water element unlocks that gate. And then there's also the leveling up that characters can do. So throughout the course of playing the game, the characters get more powerful. They gain new weapons. They gain new capabilities. one of the most, I think, clever things that Skylanders does is it saves that experience onto the toy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's not living in the digital world. That's living in the physical world. And what that does with kids is they take that toy, put it in their pocket, go over to their friend's house, play it on his machine, and that is their guy. That's their toy. It's not a generic experience. It's very personal. And I think that's one of the things that makes toy collections special. Kids are always looking for a way to personalize it and to make it their own.
Mm-hmm. That my youngest son, Jake, wrote a poem called If I Were a Skylander. And this is a little Toy Fair 2012 exclusive. With his permission, of course, I'd like to read my son's poem to you. If I Were a Skylander by Jake Hirshberg, age 5. If I were a Skylander, I would be strong. My powers would be that I can freeze all the bad guys. I can throw hail down on them. I can skate on land without being on ice. And I can belch giant ice blocks that slide into them. And I would also have a laser, so I could split my ice into little pieces. It would splatter all over the bad guys. If I were a Skylander, my name would be Ice Breaker. And even though I'm little, I'm huge.
So you've been talking about working with Toys R Us, as you were announcing, and that's been a strong partnership. In the UK, it seems like some of the high street stores and the game store in particular chain is perhaps struggling. How important is the sort of that retail stream for a game like Skylanders, and maybe in general for Activision?
Yeah, well, unlike pure digital content, Skylanders can't be sold digitally. Mm-hmm. Because there is a physical item that is part of the game. So I think that that's part of the reason you're seeing such excitement from our retail partners, simply because there's a indispensable role for the retailer in this process. And not only that, as I mentioned in my comments today, our best marketing tool with Skylanders is demonstration. And if we can get kids to experience the magic moment, which is what we call it when the toy comes to life, we know that will captivate their imagination. And so we really focused a lot of our launch efforts around giving people a lot of opportunities to experience this thing hands-on. So you could take the packaging off the peg in the store, put it on the portal, and see it come to life right there in the store. We had 20,000 interactive kiosks worldwide in stores around the world. We did mall tours. We did house tours with mom bloggers and opinion leaders and people who have some influence in the parenting community. And we really just wanted to get as many people as possible to experience the game firsthand, because we knew that was the best way to sell it.
Yeah, and so those stores obviously are part of that.
Yeah, and Toys R Us, who was here with us today, Jerry Storch, spoke with us again. He did last year when we announced Skylanders Spyro's Adventure as well. They did a tremendous job of training their staff and installing the interactive kiosks, so that walking into a Toys R Us was like walking into Skylands. In its first year, to pierce the top 10 in NPD for a new intellectual property.
Yeah, no, that was including once you add in the toy sales.
Yeah, of course, yes, because that's a big part of the game. But based on revenue, including both the software and the sale of the toys, it pierced the top 10, which is, in this industry, launching new intellectual property is very difficult. The other 9 of the top 10 are all sequels. Yeah. All have a 2 or 3 or 4, after them. Yeah. And Skylanders was the only one that was something new.
Yeah. Great. Well, thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot.
And we'll be back with more on Skylanders Giants, I'm sure, in the coming weeks.